Saudi Defense Ministry reports intercepting 4 drones launched toward the Shaba oil field.
The Iranian government continues retaliatory attacks against American and Israeli targets tonight.
Strategic assets are being frozen as more American weaponry moves into the Persian Gulf region.
Global Frontline Reports analysis shows a 3rd Navy aircraft carrier is preparing to deploy soon.
The elite strike group is expected to cross the Atlantic and join the ongoing war against Iran. Guided missile destroyers are standing by to hit targets in Yemen to protect global shipping lanes.
Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has dropped by 94% since the war began.
The U.S. president announced a $20 billion program to get global energy moving again.
The Navy will begin escorting commercial vessels through the strait when it is deemed safe to do so.
Overnight attacks against the Emirates included 9 ballistic missiles and over 100 drones.
Reports confirmed that 90% of these incoming projectiles were successfully intercepted.
Local officials have confirmed that the Emirates has frozen all Iranian assets in the Gulf state.
In the first week of Operation Epic Fury, American forces have struck 3,000 positions.
Many of these targeted sites include ballistic missile launch pads and storage facilities.
Sirens were heard in Tel Aviv as interceptor missiles were fired into the dark night sky.
Defense forces remain on the offensive while securing strategic positions. Command centers and hundreds of military sites in Lebanon have also been targeted and destroyed.
An underground bunker used by the Iranian leader was recently leveled by high-precision strikes.
Strategic munitions used by the Iranian military are proving extremely difficult to intercept.
American forces continue hitting control centers and communication infrastructure across the area.
Residents of Tehran describe hearing massive explosions echoing across the capital all day long.
A military base near Baghdad was targeted by Iranian drones as regional tensions rise tonight.
Iran has now targeted 12 countries across the region, including civilian infrastructure. Military officials state that the targeting of innocent civilians will not go unanswered. The U.S. president is now demanding an unconditional surrender from the Iranian government. The administration insists the new Iranian leader must be acceptable to the global community.
The United States and its allies plan to help rebuild Iran once the conflict is fully resolved.
The commander-in-chief recently met with major defense contractors to discuss weapon supply. Focus is on rapidly increasing the ability of American manufacturers to produce advanced weapons.
Officials emphasize that American-made weapons remain the most effective in the world today. Reports indicate that the Russian government is helping Iran target American troops in the area. Operation Epic Fury is reportedly meeting or surpassing all strategic goals set by leadership.
Concerns are growing regarding how long global gasoline prices will remain at elevated levels.
Energy advisors are working urgently to find solutions to bring down costs for U.S. consumers. A potential partnership with Venezuela is being considered to lower fuel prices in America. The U.S. president stated that Operation Epic Fury will continue until a surrender is offered.
The president briefly answered questions about foreign interference during a recent public event.
Global Frontline Reports highlights the professionalism and speed of current military operations.
Former intelligence analysts are now assessing the depth of the current American munitions arsenal. Critics argue that previous administrations failed to replace high-end weaponry in the bunkers.
A naval expert explains that a deeper arsenal of high-end weapons is a long-standing need.
Experts suggest expanding production on the factory floor to prepare for a potential long war.
Drone specialists are discussing how to improve defenses against low-cost unmanned aircraft.
Some enemy drones are penetrating defenses and striking critical installations around the globe.
A U.S. senator warned that the nation only produces 7 interceptor missiles every month.
A cheap $20,000 drone forcing a multi-million-dollar response is unsustainable.
There are reported gaps in the procurement of effective counter-drone systems for the military.
Global Frontline Reports notes that the White House is now moving to plus up tactical forces. The UN ambassador is expected to address the expanding conflict and regional safety concerns.
Thousands of Iranian Kurds are reportedly preparing for a potential military operation in Iran.
The Kurdish groups have a long history of working with American forces in the Middle East region.
A regional Kurdish leader joins the broadcast to discuss the implications of the ongoing war.
The regional official describes a massive escalation across all fronts with no sign of slowing.
American forces are focusing on taking out missile launch sites and enemy drone factories.
Most of the effective fighting forces are currently positioned along the strategic border areas.
The Kurdish leader described the U.S. president as being very calm and charming during their talk. The U.S. president expressed gratitude for the years of service provided by the Kurdish people.
The Iranian foreign minister expressed great disappointment regarding the failure of recent talks.
Iranian officials indicated that they are prepared to fight an existential war if necessary. Analysts suggest that a peaceful negotiation remains the only real solution to this conflict.
A regional official states that regime change does not look likely at this present moment.
The Iranian government has been planning for this scenario for over 45 years tonight.
Experts argue that conditions today are very different compared to the Iraq conflict in 2003.
There is currently no standard or symbol for the Iranian people to follow during this crisis.
Deploying ground troops across a country the size of Western Europe may not be feasible now.
There is no confirmed armed cross-border operation happening from the territory of Iraq today.
The Iranian people are highly nationalistic and may unify against any separatist movements.
Regional observers warn that Turkey may intervene against any Kurdish troop movements nearby.
The situation remains complicated due to the interests of various ethnic groups in the area.
Local leaders believe the region should serve as a bridge for peace rather than a battlefield.
Global Frontline Reports notes that Kurdish allies are positioned to help with de-escalation.
Military analysts observe a weakened Iranian system, though institutional structures remain solid.
There is deep concern regarding the threat posed by massive swarms of Iranian-made drones.
Humanitarian experts urge all sides to find a less bloody way to resolve the current issues.
The U.S. president reportedly wants a long-lasting peace through the application of strength.
Huge disruptions are rocking the city as the military continues to secure various strategic zones.
The commander-in-chief posted that there will be no deal without an unconditional surrender. The White House press secretary outlined the specific goals for Operation Epic Fury tonight.
Officials state that the operation will continue until the regional threat is fully removed.
The U.S. president claims a ground invasion is not needed because the enemy has lost its Navy. Democratic members of Congress are raising concerns about the length of the current military conflict. Some officials argue that a majority of the American people are against a long war with Iran.
And critics acknowledge the brutal nature of the regime while opposing a forever war in the region.
The senior official commented on current events during a recent public appearance in Washington. The argument against the war suggests it is unnecessary and could lead to global instability.
Proponents argue the strikes were necessary to prevent a nuclear threat from a hostile nation.
Global Frontline Reports analysis shows a nuclear Iran could potentially blackmail the world. 1/3 of the global population is reportedly within the range of Iranian missile systems.
Manned attack helicopters are now flying over the capital city as command posts are leveled.
The Iranian military is reportedly struggling to respond because their electronics are jammed. The pace of American operations has doubled over the last 48 hours of the conflict.
Israeli authorities have lowered their threat level as the air defense remains extremely strong.
Hostile forces may target oil refineries to raise the cost of the war for the U.S. and its allies.
Reports indicate that desertions are occurring among the police and the Iranian military units.
The ethnic fracturing around the perimeter of the country is opening the regime to airstrikes.
The U.S. president remains accessible while delivering a clear message of strength to the public. A recent briefing from Central Command provided extraordinary details on the operation's success.
Past diplomatic efforts helped normalize relations between Israel and several neighboring nations.
Analysts contrast the current strategy with the previous military withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Officials maintain that this was the right time to strike to prevent a larger nuclear threat.
The term unconditional surrender suggests the U.S. will determine when the conflict ends.
But historians note that few conflicts end with such absolute terms in modern warfare today.
Financial reports indicated the war is currently costing over $1 billion a day.
Markets are reacting as oil prices rise, while stocks show volatility across the board.
Experts believe the Iranian people want normalcy and a return to economic stability.
Former officials praise the superiority of American and Israeli intelligence assets.
Military technology from Russia and China is reportedly failing to defend the airspace. Intelligence agencies have reportedly infiltrated deep into the Iranian security apparatus.
The current administration has adopted a strategy of fighting to win against the regime. Pentagon officials report that Iranian ballistic missile fire is down by 90%.
However, the enemy still possesses a near limitless supply of cheap one-way attack drones.
The U.S. is now using reverse-engineered drones to hit fixed targets inside Iranian territory.
Reports confirm that Russia is quietly providing targeting intelligence to the Iranian side.
This strategic move by Moscow aims to prolong the conflict and drain American munitions.
Naval forces recently struck a massive Iranian drone carrier, effectively destroying it.
Investigations are underway regarding a strike near a school that resulted in casualties.
Satellite imagery companies are pausing updates to prevent aiding battle damage assessments. Global Frontline reports will continue to monitor the situation as operations accelerate. Stay tuned for continuous coverage of Operation Epic Fury and the changing global order.
Please like and subscribe to Global Frontline Reports for more breaking news updates.